winds blow, Albertans rise up, tired of the status quo. Oil sands pumping black gold, beef on the grill so fine, grain fields waving golden, canola blooming in the sunshine. But Ottawa's taking our billions, unfair equalization gain, sending it east to Quebec while we shoulder the blame. No more pipelines blocked, no more carbon tax chains. We're done with the feds breaking free from their reins. Alberta freedom, ringing loud and true. Sovereignty calling, independence coming through. No more woke liberalism, stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cutting loose from the strife. Rocky Mountains watching as we claim our own land. Freedom for our families with a rifle in hand. Alberta freedom, let the anthems roll. We're building our nation forevermore. From the prairie to the peaks, where the eagles soar high, we're sick of the traitors calling us traitors, that's a lie. Equalization's a thief, stealing our hard-earned pay, while they push their agendas, turning night into day. Beef ranchers and farmers, grain silos stand proud, oil rigs turning profits under Alberta's cloud. No more begging for ports, landlocked but strong we stand. We'll negotiate our future with the world in our hand. Alberta freedom, ringing loud and true.
Hey, how's everyone doing today? Glad to see everyone in there. We got Phoenix Tide in there first. Good to see you. Daisy's in there. Dash and Grandma. Everyone filing in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Yeah, good to see everyone. We've got a kind of a mixed bag here today. Lots of different stuff. We're going to be pulling some stuff off of X here, showing you what's going on up here in Canada, how wacky our Canadian politics are up here. Go over some of the craziness up here. And it's crazy.
They say it's illegal,
but I don't want to say that, because those people that, you know, where I'm insinuating are crazy, they think that everyone hates them. And like, I don't want to be called a hater or anything like that. I like everyone. I try and get along with everyone. It's pretty tough in this day and age. So, because there's a lot of people that don't like me because I'm like a right winger. Oh my God. You Trumpisms, Trumpsters, whatever. You're all right wingers, and you're all like MAGA and stuff like that. Yeah, well, you're all just labeling. Quit labeling me, okay? And quit being racist. We're sick and tired of you guys out there being racist against us white people. Oh my God, it's getting ridiculous out there. I can't even hardly walk around or listen to the radio or watch TV or anything like that without people going, well, I have a certain card, an equity card, because I'm a different color, or I'm a different gender, or I'm a different whatever, something other than you. And you're nothing more than a colonizer, you bad person. You're being racist. You're like, the people that are calling us racist are actually way more racist than we are, okay? Squirrel's nuts. Good to see you over on X watching. We're broadcasting on X, Facebook, and on YouTube here today. Good to see everyone in there. Big ups to you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate that. You're listening to the song that I wrote, and it's the Alberta independence song, because when Alberta becomes independent from Canada, and we will, and there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, no, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. Ain't going to happen. Where's Donald Trump? He's all fake news. It'll happen. It's big. it's happening. We're going to go over some of the stuff that's going on with that. You guys have heard about this. It doesn't matter where you are in North America. You've heard that Alberta wants to become independent from Canada. And it's happening. We've got a plebiscite on the go here where people have signed up. It's like a petition to put the vote on the ballot. And we've gotten over 177,000 people that have signed up on that plebiscite. So it is going to be on the ballot. We are going to vote for independence in October. I think it's like October the 6th or something like that. So we're looking forward to that happening. And I'm watching mainstream media, and they're going, and they get these left-wing radical liberal women on there that go, no, I don't think they've got enough votes, enough people to sign the plebiscite to even vote on independence. No, it's not going to happen. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It is. In fact, we've probably gotten more like 400,000 people sign up on that plebiscite. And you know what? This is how the numbers are going to work up here in Alberta. There's only 4 million people that live in Alberta. It's quite a small population here. Okay. And the last time we had an actual vote in Alberta here, there were only like about 1.7 million people that even showed up to vote. And this time, it's only going to be a vote for independence. There's nothing else on the ballot. You won't be voting for any political party or anything like that. It'll just be, you're going to show up to vote, and it'll be, do you vote for independence or not? That's all it's going to be. So I hope to hell that those people that want Alberta to stay in Canada don't show up to vote. That would be the best thing ever. And if we had like about 1 million people that want independence show up for vote, then they're going to get like about 65% of the vote. So, we know that those people that want to stay in Canada, they're like pretty lazy and they're not going to show up to vote. So that'll be glorious. Oh, October 19th, says Squirrel. Yeah, okay, good. You've got that number. I'm not really paying attention here, but it's going to be pretty much glorious. And we're looking forward to that happening. The middle of the afternoon here, it's a kind of a cloudy day. You can see an overcast day. And there's the lake behind me. We're at Sylvan Lake, and we can't see the other end of the lake, which is like a number of miles away from us here. Usually we can see the end of the lake over there, and we can actually see the lake, but it's kind of snowing out there a little bit, and it's overcast. We did get probably about, I don't know, maybe about 5-6 inches of snow overnight. And we're supposed to be getting about 15 centimeters of snow overall. So we've got more snow coming. It's snowing right here as we speak. And I did see a big flock of robins show up. And of course, they're unable to peck the earth to get any earthworms or anything out of there. So they were kind of landing out in those trees out there. There was just a big giant flock, probably about 1,000 robins showed up here. And I don't know what they're eating, maybe berries off the trees or something like that right at the moment. I saw a few of them drop down to the ground where there's no snow on the ground and try and, peck at it or something. But of course, it's frozen. So they're a little bit early. Well, I guess they're probably on time coming up here, because this is when they migrate back to this area. There are no robins here in the middle of winter. So, and also we've got the geese, the Canada geese. We've seen a bunch of them flying in their formation, their V formations, flying from the south going north of where we are here. So they're all coming back into the territory here. So things are starting to pop into spring here. But of course, we've got our I hope it's going to be our last snowfall of the season. It's kind of warming up a little bit in the daytime, getting around that zero, around that freezing mark. But of course, going down to about 10 or 12 degrees below zero at nighttime. And of course, nobody plants anything here until it gets above freezing at nighttime. And so we've still got a little bit of time for that to happen. Let's see what else is going on here. Let me look at my little notepad. I was going to phone into a show there that I was watching earlier, but I never got around to it. So I was making a few notes on what his show was about. Oh, there was something about there's a Canadian program called This Hour Has 22 Minutes. It's a kind of a extreme left program on the CBC television, and they're always doing skits on kind of hitting at right wingers, at anyone that's like a patriot or something like that in Canada. They've never done any programming there that I've ever liked at all on anything that I've been involved with. They've always been like trying to make fun of you and making you look stupid and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the CBC is the bad programming example for all of us here in Canada. All they are is just an extreme left-wing mouthpiece of the government. So we're sick and tired of the CBC. Every time they turn on their program, they're talking about queers or something native language or something like that. Just something that the average Canadian just is not even interested in. It's like they're so left-wing extreme out on a freaking tangent, and they're trying to, get us to, like normal white people to somehow become as extremist as they are, trying to bend us. It's like political correctness, when that came out, it was like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, you have to be, a good person, and we're trying to make everyone as such a great person, and meanwhile, it's like, yeah, screw you, we'll do whatever we want to do, quit trying to preach to the choir, like we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to do, and you do what you want to do, and we're not going to do anything that you're telling us to do. So that's why we need to defund the CBC. We need to let them go on their own. They can dismantle themselves, because when they don't have the billions of dollars of public funding, they will just slowly disintegrate. We're sick and tired of paying our tax dollars towards bad extreme left-wing programming. And that's basically what it is. The CBC actually has a crying room, so that when they offend people that work for their institution and the people start crying, they can send them over to the crying room so they can cry in the crying room. So there you go, CBC. You know what you can do? Yeah. Explode CBC. Okay. So, this hour is 22 minutes. I don't know if it was a joke or what, but they said they were going to cancel the program. I don't know if that was an April 1st joke or something like that, but I hope the hell they get rid of that program. And most of their other programming, nobody watches. And I don't even watch CBC. I really don't. Once in a while, I'll listen to CBC just to hear on the radio, to listen to their rhetoric, but it irks me every time I listen on the radio. It's just garbage on there all the time. It's just nothing of any value whatsoever. And they're always, pushing an agenda. It's all agenda driven. And we're sick and tired of that stuff. Okay, let's see. We've got in Alberta here, or actually in Canada, we've got 3 political parties. Okay, we have the Conservative Party, which is akin to the Liberal Party in the States. You have the Republican Party in the States. Republican Party is like the Conservative Party in Canada. Then we have the Liberal Party, which is similar to the Democrat Party in the States. And then we've got what's known as the NDP Party, which the NDP Party is like further to the left, closer to communism than even the Liberal Party. And they had a convention here on the last weekend, and I should have done a show probably days ago on this convention that happened, but we're just going to go over this convention that just happened and what it was like. And you won't believe this. You might have seen some of this stuff on your national TV or something like that. Brainwashed by right-wing Yeah, right. Zionist, whatever. Brett, you got Zionism on your brain there. It's like you can't say two sentences there without Zionist being on your lips. I don't care about Zionism. I don't care about Zionists. I don't care about Palestinians. I don't care about the crap that's happening in other countries. I care about what's happening right here in Canada, right where I'm sitting. This is like the most important thing to me. You know, people come here from other countries and then crab about what's happening over in their country, you know, and I could give two hoots about what's happening over there. Those guys are fighting. They'll be fighting forever over in the Middle East. They've been fighting for centuries, and they will continue to fight centuries into the future. You know, we can get into Donald Trump and the whole thing here right after this here. But let's, I'm going to stick with the program here. And if you want to talk about the Third Reich, let's talk about the NDP. Again, I don't want to be perceived as somebody that's like racist or transphobic or homophobic or misogynist or any of those other multitude of names that you guys on the left have come up with. But we had this convention up here in Canada, and this person here, I don't even know what, I'm not going to misgender them either. Okay. You could call this person a her. You could call this person a him. I'm saying you could, but I'm going to call this person a, let me think about this again. Let me see if I can remember what they said they were. They were a digital, no, it's, what do you call it now? Digital, non-binary. That's what it is. Non-binary. The whole NDP convention was run by this non-binary person, you know, so this pretty much says what the party is all about. You know, you can't make this stuff up either, you know. They dress up like someone from the Second World War, and you know, expect us not to laugh, you know, like, I don't know. Plus this non-binary person has like extra large ears and then complains that they're having trouble hearing people. So you know, that was only part of it. And also complains when one of the people that is trying to speak misgenders them, you know, like, oh my god. Well, we, you know, like, just by looking at you, what am I going to try and tell what your gender is, that you're a non-binary? Like, come on. You can't, you know, and people are going to be throwing you in jail here right away and calling it hate speech and this kind of crap when you misgender them. And meanwhile, you can't tell what they are. You know, like, I don't know. Can you tell that I'm a man? Can you tell that I'm a white guy? You know, like the way I dress, you know, I'm just trying to be a normal person, you know, but anyone that is not normal, like a normal man or a normal woman, you know, when you guys try and doll yourself up, after you've dolled yourself up a little bit, we really can't tell what you are, you know, like, honestly, you can't make this shit up. Like, really, it's gotten to the point that the whole world is going backwards. But anyways, let's watch this. This is new. You know, we need a special ding dong for this or something here. Where's the ding dong? Oh, okay, let's go with this here. Hang on. Yeah. Oh yeah, the new far left Canadians are still arguing over equity cards. Okay, so get this, just to give you a preface of what's going on at the NDP convention. They have these things that they're calling equity cards. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is an equity card? Well, that would be, let me put it to you this way. They're like different colored cards that they give people that want to ask questions. You know how at a convention they have a microphone and people can walk up to the microphone and they can ask whatever questions they want? That's not how they do it up here in Canada. They give, if you want to ask a question, they first of all determine on a scale, you know, where you rate on the equity scale. So, for example, if you're black or colored, that's worth a certain number of points. If you're LGBTQ, like just a regular, you can't. Can you say that? If you're normal gay or lesbian, well, that's worth a certain number of points. If you're a transvestite, that's worth a certain number of points. Okay, if you're marginalized, that's worth a certain number of points. So depending on how many points that you are attributed and like how they actually do the whole thing, I'd like to see them actually doing it. Hang on a second. I got a phone call coming in. Okay, we're back. So they have these colored papers that you have to hold. You hold up and you go, this is my colored paper, and I've got a different color depending on where I rate on this so-called equity scale. So they've actually instituted this. And you know what? If you're a white, straight guy, you don't get any equity paper. You're like at the bottom of the list. You're like, this whole thing is so racist. It is like unbelievable. And it is racist against guys like me. Like if I showed up at the convention and I wanted to ask a question, I would be at the back of the line. And anyone with one of these equity cards, if they were like gay or transvestite or colored or whatever, they would have one of these cards and they would be able to get in front of me in the line, right? Al Munson, I don't know if you agree with this, but this is like the epitome of absurdity, and this person here, this non-binary person, wherever they are over there, and I'm not going to go to jail over this too, so I have to be very, very careful about what I say here, and I'm not saying anything mean, I'm not saying anything harmful, I'm not saying anything bad, I'm not saying anything where the government can come up to me next week when this whole bill, whatever bill 2 or whatever bill it is, the hate speech bill, where you can't say anything hateful about a non-binary person or whatever, misgender them. Oh, I'd hate like hell to misgender you. Yeah. So, from now on, by the way, if I see anybody where I can't figure out what they are, I'm not going to talk to them. I'm just going to go, nope, that's it. I'm not talking to you. Stay away from me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to get sued by you, taken to the human rights court for misgendering you or calling you something that you're not. Like it's not going to happen. Okay. But this whole bit here, stick around. Don't go anywhere because this gets pretty good. And really, in my mind, it's funny, but in reality, and there's a lot of other podcasters out there that are, calling these people, retarded, or they should be in a psychiatric ward, or, they're just plain loose screw. But I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. That's what everybody else is saying. I'm saying these people are Canadians and they're part of the New Democratic Party. Okay. And they've all like filtered down to a particular party where they all feel at home. But are they really at home? And you'll see they're all they do is they want to argue, and they'll argue for hours on end about next to nothing, and they'll get absolutely nothing done. And this is the epitome of Canadian politics. Okay, like I'm not bullshit. Yeah, this is actually the truth. And people have said that this is like a really bad Saturday Night Live skit, or actually a good skit for that matter, because it's funnier than hell. But these people are like part of their own problem. You know what I mean? And what happens is they all come from all over a province and they congregate to the larger cities because they can kind of live close to where they all are. And they all, can chat with each other and go to bars and hang out with each other. They've got special bars where they go to and they, have fun, whatever. and they seem to do that in the large cities like Edmonton, Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver. They all, go to those places. And that's why in Canada, you find that you've got the larger number of NDP voters, right? Because they all are like in unison. And you've got those people that are quote, and you see them at the rallies because you see them flying those flags, right? You've got the LGBTQ contingent flying those flags. You got the Antifa flags flying. You've got the union flags flying, and they're all on one side rallying all together. And you've got the teachers. You got the lefty teachers, right? Because the teachers are all, embedded in that whole lot of them, and they want to be flying those flags in the schools and stuff like that, But yeah, we know what's going on. We're not stupid. We're watching what's going on, and these people are they're like how they're all fighting each other, like crazy. Okay, so let's watch this bit. Just now that you've gotten a little bit of flavor of what's going on here with the Canadian politics, and like I said, they have these equity cards, and this person, this non-binary person, and by the way, there's some backstory on her too. She lives in Vancouver, and there was this. Oh, I know what it was. There was this women's place set up so that if you were R'd, the R word, by somebody, and you're a woman, you had a safe place to go. It's like a safe house for women, where women have been R'd. And this person was petitioning or whatever, trying to get transvestite, like men that have transitioned into women, to be able to stay in that safe house along with women that have just been taken advantage of in their situations. So that's kind of her background in Vancouver. Like, really, in my mind, particularly disgusting. Really, it's bad enough to have men going into women's change rooms and bathrooms and places like that, but where women have been actually taken advantage of and are there because of the frail condition that they're in, and then to introduce somebody like that into their environment, it's like the epitome for absolute ridiculousness. And we're sick and tired of stuff like that. Okay, but anyways, that's the background on this binary person. Okay, so let's listen to the clip here. We got a bunch of different clips. Just listen. This is Canada in 2026.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes. Hello. I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker. That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was.
We went.
You went.
And if I was there, like I say, I wouldn't have one of those cards. They wouldn't have given me a card because I'm a white straight guy. Okay, so I'm like at the bottom of the line. I wouldn't even be on that microphone. Like if I went to the NDP convention, and to eat, this is another thing about the NDP, is that in order to become a candidate, to become the leader of the NDP, you had to go out and get 100 people to sign up for you. And you couldn't get white cis people, like that means normal. I don't know what cis means. Does cis mean normal? You guys in the chat might know that. But white cis men were not able to sign up candidates to be able to even become the leader of the NDP party. This is how ridiculous they are. But yeah, let's go back a little bit here.
Which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was.
We went.
You went pro, con.
We went pro-con, pro. And my plan was to go con. The speaker at con mic 3 also has a speaking card.
Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario, we know this is equity, even if this was also used inappropriate in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman have—
Hang on a second. Did she say she identifies as a Black woman? Hang on. She looks Black to me. like, you don't have to identify as a black person if you're already black. Like, why would she say I identify as a black person? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me as a white cis guy that's not even allowed to vote there or talk there because I don't have a white cis card. I wouldn't have any card at all. They wouldn't give me a card. And you have to apparently have a special card in order to say anything, unless somebody gave you their card. That could happen. That could always happen. In fact, it did happen. And oh man, did they ever get pissed off.
Myself, who identify as a black woman, have no value outside of this space.
Yeah. So they're fighting. They're fighting over those equity, gender cards. It's you can't make this stuff up. What am I? Did I wake up in some kind of a dream here or something? This is just the epitome of stupidness here, And I'm not, and I don't want to call the people that were there any names whatsoever. The people that are there have their own problems. They think that the whole world is against them. They think that everybody hates them. And really, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate her. I don't hate Avi, the guy that won. And by the way, the guy that won the convention, this is the funniest part of it all. The guy that became the leader of the NDP is a white, rich millionaire whose family is like in the elite. And he went to one of the most elite schools in Ontario that is like a paid for school. And really, they elected him, the person, the capitalist dude that, is rich off of capitalism. He's the guy that they actually elected to be the leader of their, equity gender party, the NDP party. So, I can't figure that one out. That just makes no sense to me
change our
whatsoever.
rules as we like as we move forward into the bright and golden.
Oh, let's go on with the next one here. This is our friend again here. Let me just switch up this thing here. Window 1 here. And we'll bring it in here. Okay, here's the speaker again. This is about a 2-minute clip. And let's listen to this whole thing a little bit more here.
We are 1 minute ahead of schedule, and so I'm going to get out of here. The balloting co-chairs are returning, I believe. Now balloting co-chairs. There's a point. Let's hear the point on microphone 1.
I'm sorry, just real quick, point of personal privilege. I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but...
Hang on. What is this person here? Is this a guy or a girl? I think they have one of those gender cards, so maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll never figure it out. But anyways, just typical of who's down there with the NDP.
Early on the mic, it's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked. Well, you were rejected. What about me as a white guy? You're just like blackballed and not allowed to speak at all because I wouldn't have gotten a sexual gender card or some kind of you're a guy that has one leg or something like that, like a handicapped person. I wouldn't have got one of those cards at all. At least you got a card and you're up there complaining about that card that you got. Like, come on. Give me a break. Speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked. And it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender woman had spoken over me. And
cisgender, in case you don't know what that means, because that's babblygook talk, whatever. It means a normal person, a normal white person got to speak before this person. And this person is pissed off that a normal white person got to speak before them. Is that racist? if you treat a white person like that, does that make you racist, Daisy? People call you a racist all the time in the chat, because you said something bad that somebody didn't like what you said, with some verbiage came out of your mouth that somebody didn't like, and that makes you a racist person. Well, what about these people where they don't even allow a white person to speak because the white person isn't, you're not transgender enough, you're not gay enough, you're not black enough, you're not handicapped enough. You have privilege, white privilege. And because you have white privilege, get to the back of the bus. Gee, how times have changed. And have they changed for the good or for the worse?
I understand her rights are important too. This pertains to her too, but I don't know. I hope that in the future, the federal NDP will also have a broader interpretation of the equity cards for speakers. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. How about get the hell rid of those stupid equity cards? Who the hell came up with something like that? Was it the cis white people, the regular white people? Did the white people come up with those cis cards? Or not cis cards, but gender equity cards? Or was it the people that feel like they've been tread upon? And so much for equity. How can you call it an equity card when there's zero equity? They're not equitable at all. I'm feeling disenfranchised from the whole NDP party. I would absolutely have nothing to do with the NDP party if these people are doing shit like this. This is the worst of the worst. You can't make this crap up. This is something that Sandy Foster would probably like, or Cadamus Rex, or Al Munson. This is right up your alley. It's Al Munson. What kind of a equity card would you have? Sandy Foster, would you be up there with an equity card? Cadamus Rex, what color is your equity card? Or other people in the chat that are on that side of the fence. Do you think this is right? What the hell? This is the worst of the worst. And this is Canadian politics. This is to what it has turned into. One hell of a big shit show where these people are looking the absolute worst ever. The whole world is looking at Canada and looking at this and going, what a shit show. Canada, what's become of your country? You're so liberal that you've gone backwards into a little hellhole. Who the hell wants to get involved with this kind of politics when this is the kind of bullshit? You show up there and you want to just ask a simple question and they go, no. Let's see. You're a white guy? A white guy? A colonizer? Colonial? No. Get to the back of the line right now. Back of the bus. Not allowed. You're not allowed to speak. Not here. We're going to make sure that you don't speak. We're going to make sure that you don't ask any questions because you are so privileged that you're not allowed to even be here. What are you doing at an NDP convention if you're a white guy? You'd be stupid to be there. You'd be stupid to go there. You'd be stupid to vote for the NDP, and you'd be stupid to have anything to do with that party. These people are ridiculous.
I will invite delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line behind the microphone.
Hang on. Did she say the word straight accidentally and then roll her eyes up? Did you see that? Did you see that? Let me repeat that and watch closely and watch what she does when she says the word straight, because, oh my God, did she say the word straight and then regret saying it?
That's all. Thank you.
I will invite delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line behind the microphone.
Yeah. You accidentally said the word straight. It accidentally popped out of your binary mouth, and it shouldn't have. What the fuck? NDP. Who would ever vote NDP? Who in their right mind? You know that almost all of the teachers in the teachers union in Alberta vote NDP. And this is who's teaching our children in our province. The NDP. These people are who are teaching our children. And flying flags in the classroom. And getting our children to draw rainbow flags on the sidewalks outside of the school during recess, like they made my kid do. Fuck that. These people are so prejudiced. They're so racist. It's unbelievable. And you can't make this shit up. You absolutely can't. Really, honestly. This is to the nth level of idiocy. And this NDP party, they're like, oh, wow, that's the way life is. We're moving more in this direction. Bullshit. This is the kind of crap that destroys countries, destroys minds, destroys everything around you when you get involved in this kind of stuff. Like, really? What do you need? An equity card to get on a bus? Equity card to go to the store and buy something? What, do we need equity cards and we need a little equity number on our driver's license now to know just how privileged you are? Is that where society is going? Really? What a bunch of bullshit. Like, when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. You know, other people are joking and they're going, oh, well, you Canadians are just a bunch of clowns, and, you know, the political parties are just, you know, like a little sideways. These people want everyone in our whole country to go along with their bullshit. And you know what? I'll be the first one to stand up and call it out for what it is. This is the most idiotic thing that I've seen in my whole life. Shame on you, NDP. Shame on you, non-binary leader who's pushing this propaganda. You're trying to make all of us fall in line with this bullshit. It's not going to happen. You know, I'm sure the chat is looking at this, and you're probably thinking to yourself, either you're thinking, this is great. Let's clap for this. Let's all get on board with this. We need this in the United States. We need this. Well, of course, it's all across Canada because this is the federal party, the federal NDP party right across Canada. This is the way what they're pushing onto everyone.
With a prominently displayed equity card, if I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity. And I will.
Oh my God. You would hate to misgender them. Don't misgender them. Just because they're holding up a certain colored equity card, that doesn't mean that you can actually determine what their gender is, because that card might have something to do with a handicap, with maybe their color of their skin, maybe their gender, or maybe lack of gender. Holy fuck.
Will come to you. This applies so far, according to your rules, for gender identities other than a dude, but it is open to.
What? Hang on. You heard what she said. Other identities or other identities other than a dude, a guy, a man, a normal person. So if you've got one of these cards, you're not a dude. You're not a normal guy. You're not a cis guy or a cis woman. You're not a normal person. If you've got one of these cards, you're like different than everybody else. You're like unequal. You're not the same as everybody else, right? This is the party that's supposed to be so inclusive. Let's bring everyone together. We're all the same. Oh, we're all the same. They've been preaching for so long that we're all the same. But yet, when they get together for a convention, they prove that they are so divisive that you have to have a different colored card to stand in line and ask any questions at the event. The ultimate in stupidity. Honestly. You cannot make this shit up. They've done it for me. And all I can do is look at it and comment that this is the most ridiculous thing in the entire world. NDP, what's the matter with you? And you expect guys like me? Remember that your program and your group of people are maybe 5% of the population that is, shall we call you LGBTQ, even though there's like, 100 more letters to that alphabet. But you're only 5% of the population. And you expect the other 95% of the people in Canada to go with your program and to go, yeah, great. I'm cis, I'm white. You're being racist against me, and you're not including me. You're making me get to the back of the bus, the back of the lineup, not ask any questions whatsoever. And you want my vote. Fuck you. That's the last thing you're getting is my vote. You're not even getting my fucking respect.
If I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you. This applies so far according to your rules.
Yeah, don't guess about any gender identity. Don't do that. Just because they're holding up a card, that may not mean what their gender is. You don't have enough colors of paper to indicate what everybody is. Phoenix Tide, you're a sick-minded bigot. You must be. And the people, I went on Ryan Jesperson's show there earlier today, and there's some guy where I'm going, well, I don't agree with what they're teaching in schools, whatever, and they should be more careful and keep some of that stuff. And some of those teachers might have an agenda for what they're teaching our kids. And somebody said, oh, well, you're a bigot. You're a bigot for assuming that some teacher might have an agenda. Well, you're a bigot because you don't like this stuff that they're teaching the kids in school about gender identity. You're just a bigot. Call the names. You're calling me a bigot. You're calling me a racist. When the NDP party is proving to be the worst of the worst of the worst. And I'm not going to call the NDP party or any of these people any bad names, because I don't call people bad names. I don't use names to identify people. I don't need a label on me, and I'm not trying to put a label on you. You are what you are. You put your own label on yourself. And everyone sees it. And some people are laughing. And they're going, oh, man, this is better than Saturday Night Live. In fact, is this a Saturday Night Live skit? Is this real? Am I living in some kind of a dream? And they're laughing, going, this is funny. This is not funny. This is reality. This is where Canada has morphed. We're morphed into like a soup of idiocy, where people are just so much into misgendering and gendering and all the rest of this extreme left bullshit, and they're believing it. They're all believing it. They're thinking that, well, if I came up with it, I can for sure get everyone else in Canada to believe it and to go along with it and to be part of it. Mouth of the South. What do you think of this crap? Oh, yeah, I know. You're sitting back smoking a joint going, yeah, well, just another day in Canada. Nothing new here. Nothing I haven't seen before. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
For gender identities other than a dude, but it is open to us to change our rules as we like.
Yeah, gender identities other than a dude. If you've got some gender identity other than a dude, you get a card. You get a colored card. You can move up in the line. But if you're a dude, back of the bus.
As we move forward into the bright and golden future. Thank you, friends. Let's hear the balloting co-chairs.
Oh, golden future. It's a golden future that we're moving into. Oh, isn't that beautiful? That's nice. We're looking forward to this golden future. Yeah. But they won't be having children. This cannot be the future of Canada, because a lot of these people, with them getting together and forming the relationships, are probably not going to have children. So this is not where the future of our country is, and it's not a very golden future, that's for sure. As golden as it gets is maybe golden rain. I hate to say that, but that's about as golden as it gets.
I'm directed to a point on microphone 3.
Point of information, I'm not sure if it's appropriate for me to bring a point of privilege around an emergent issue with some job loss in my workplace.
If it is impairing your ability to participate in the meeting, it is a correct point of privilege. If you'd like an announcement to be made from the stage, we can arrange for that, and then the delegates can hear it from here.
Oh my God. It's just so much protocol with the whole thing. And then even to get involved in the protocol, you've got to have the gender identity card to even open your mouth. And really, it's just a big circle jerk where it's not going anywhere fast.
Not right now.
So, okay, bring it to you.
Bring it to me.
Thank you.
We'll find a way.
Yeah. But
Good.
even you with your card can't talk right now. Just shut them down. Shut them down if you don't like it. Oh my God. Hang on. Yeah, I think this one we saw already. Oh, this is actually a better one here. Hang on. Okay, let me just get this set up here. Yeah, so this one here, this is kind of funny too, because they get this guy that's watching and get his face in there, and it's pretty good. Look at his face on the whole thing here. Okay, let's listen to this clip. This is a bit of what we saw before already, but different camera angles.
Microphone 2, are you on this resolution?
Yes.
Microphone 2, please.
My name is Mastura Tasneem. My pronouns are she, they. I'm from Ontario. Hello, bonjour.
Oh, she, they. I never would have figured that one out. She, they. Hang on. She, they. I actually have to stop and think about that. What is a she, they? Like, she does look like a woman, so the she fits in. But what's the they? She, they. It's like I got to take about 5 minutes to figure out what the pronouns are all about, because what are they doing? They just make this up as they go along? And we have to try and figure out what they actually mean? She, they. Okay, she, my pronouns are she, they. Well, hang on. Why would your pronoun be she? She is referring to somebody else, not you. Like if I was coming up with a pronoun, like let's say I was making up a pronoun for myself, I'd be going like white guy, white guy, because I'm white and I'm a guy. Okay, so I'd be like white guy. But when you say my pronouns are she, meaning like somebody else, she, and they, meaning like a group of people that's like way over there, like those people. How are they coming up with these things? Like, really, where's the thought process? She, they. Okay, let's move on with this one here.
Yes.
Microphone 2, please.
My name is Mastura Tasneem. I'm she. My pronouns are she, they. I'm from Ontario. Hello, bonjour.
Hang on. And what's with the kadafa that she's wearing there? That seems pretty pro-Palestine for an NDP meeting. Like, really, this is Canada that we're in here. And it's not like a pro-Palestine rally. Brett, what's going on with that? Maybe you can answer that one. It's just more of the insanity at the NDP convention.
As we conduct this convention today and the past 2 days, right now there's discussions of 10,000 American men and women being sick.
Yeah, and what's with the guy with the face mask on there? COVID's been over for a few years now. Like, come on. But it's like an NDP thing, I think.
To Iran, being deployed just to be part of this bloodbath.
And what about that guy? That guy's he's like the old white guy sitting there, and his face is like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Why am I here? I don't believe it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And look at that stack of gender equity cards there of people that have spoken already. It's only the people with the cards. That guy's sitting there waiting to say something, but he knows he's at the back of the line. He'll never have a chance to speak, but he's there. Poor guy.
Canada cannot and will not be part of the legacy of blood that was built in Iraq, in Palestine, and now...
Oh, hang on. I thought this is an NDP rally. No, an NDP where they're trying to elect, a new leader. It's a convention. It's not a pro-Palestine rally. Really, honestly. And they're letting her talk. Hey, okay, no problem.
Canada cannot and will not be part of the legacy of blood that was built in Iraq, in Palestine, and now in Iran. This is a no question debate. I call this question, Madam and Chairs. Thank you.
Your point's quite well made, Speaker. I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair or Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Chair is sufficient.
Oh, the chair gave her shit for misgendering. I was going to say her, but that would be misgendering. What do you call a non-binary person if it's not her or him? Misgendering them, but it's not them. It's that particular person. And if this particular person is non-binary, then how do you actually address them? You don't say them. That's disrespectful. You don't say her. That's disrespectful. You don't say him. That's disrespectful. Got to come up with a name for that. Genetic mutation, says Nubs Masad. I didn't say that. Don't put words into my mouth because I don't want to go to jail for misgendering somebody. But, that person, you have to be careful with what you say, is non-binary. And that non-binary person is pissed off because they were misgendered. Oh, my God. NDP party. It's like I can barely do this broadcast here because I have to watch every frickin' word that I'm saying to make sure that I don't accidentally pigeonhole somebody into the wrong pigeonhole and end up going into a jail pigeonhole myself. This is getting pretty dicey being a person podcasting in Canada, honestly.
Your point's quite well made, Speaker. I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair or Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Chair is sufficient.
Hang on. Let me get those pronouns. They, them, and their. They, them, and their. They, them, and their. Their. Is that like THEIR or THERE? But all three of those refer to somebody else. They, them, and their. They would be, over there, there. They, them. That's them way over there. And there, over there. All three of those are like referring to somebody that is not in that body, but somebody somewhere else. Again, where do they come up with these pronouns? What is the meaning of those pronouns? What is it all about? Non-binary. What the hell is that? Non-binary. Binary, that was something that we learned in school. It was like a way to count, the binary system. I can't believe this. I can't believe that I'm doing this podcast, because I really can't make head nor tail of what the hell is going on here. Really. Like I would refer to myself. My pronouns might be me, myself, and I. And all three of those things refer to this guy, this white guy that's sitting in this white body, right? That has like so much privilege over everybody else. But at least I'm referring to myself. I'm not going to call myself they, them, their, because that would refer to everybody else in the room and not to me. But yet that person has picked those pronouns for themselves, which there's no sense. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. We're fucked. This is Canada. This is politics in Canada, where that's all these people think about is themselves. They're like more concerned with themselves and their pronouns and their identity and their gender identity cards and fighting with each other over their identities and misgendering each other. They can't even get along with each other. Never mind with all the rest of us, quote, normal people here in Canada. We're fucked. Sandy Foster, we're fucked. Go back down to Florida and have another beer. You need it. You need another beer to figure out what's going on here, because this is nonsensical. It makes no sense whatsoever. I can't figure it out. Even when I think rationally about what these people are doing, it still makes no sense. They weren't thinking when they came up with these pronouns, and they expect us to go along with the program and to not misgender them by not saying their correct program when or say their correct pronoun when in fact their pronouns make zero sense whatsoever. I think I need a dictionary of pronouns here or something. Or on the other hand, you know what I'm going to do? If I come across one of these people in my day-to-day activities, and if I can't figure out what you are, I'm going to just not even talk to you. I'm going to just move along to the next person. Okay, and if I can tell what you are, and I can tell that you won't be offended by mispronouncing you, then I'll talk to you. But if I think I'm going to mispronoun you because of your haircut or the way you talk or the way you present yourself or the colors that you're wearing or the color of your hair, I'm going to bypass you. I'm going to not say a damn thing to you. And you brought it up all upon yourself. upon yourselves with craziness like this, with talk like this.
And there, chair is sufficient. And with regret, you've spoken to the resolution. It's not open to you to also call the question. If the question is the will of the House, someone else must call it because we heard from you in substantive debate.
Okay, I was not aware. I was
Weird rule. Microphone 4.
Yes, thank you. My name is Fred Farhat Sufi.
Hey, it's a white guy. I wonder what his
Microphone 2, are you on this resolution?
hang on.
yes.
Microphone 2, please.
I wonder, hang on, that last guy that was there. I wonder why he's there. That one didn't make any sense. Because he was like a white guy that didn't fit in with the rest of them there. They were going to let him talk there too. Oh, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, the next guy up. If I didn't know this was the NDP convention, I would honestly have thought it was Monty Python's Flying Circus, a sketch, absolute nut fuckery, says this guy who posted this one. So let's listen to this one. Again, it's non-madame binary speaker, whatever they are. And let's listen to this one.
Burnaby North Seymour, pronouns he, him. Point of information.
What information?
Hang on. Pronouns he, him. He, him. He would be referring to he, that guy over there. Him would be referring to, again, him. You don't refer to yourself. My pronouns are he, him, when it's like me, myself. Guy, him is like a male thing, right? He is like a male thing. She is female. So it's a guy saying, I'm a guy. But I'm not, because it's like I'm referring to that guy. I still can't figure these things out. If you guys got this all under control, emotional damage, I need that soundbite.
2,000 years later.
Yeah. It is crazy. We need a siren in here. Siren, please. Oh, man. Okay, what does he, him have to say? Let's go over this again.
Burnaby North Seymour, pronouns he, him. Point of information.
What information do you seek, delegate?
Can I ask an election about, or can I ask a question about executive elections to the chair?
No.
As I understand it, what more election results we have are going to be announced at the end of the day.
I have a point of information for the elections committee.
The elections committee has gone to
You know what? The binary they person, looks like they are going to cry at any moment. Really. They're going to cry. I know it. I can feel it.
to do balloting and they're not available to answer your questions.
Thank you, Chair.
Sorry. Microphone 4, are you on a point?
Points of order, Robert Alley, he, they. My understanding as an equity seeking delegate is that these cards.
Hang on. He, they. Wow, that's different than he, him. Oh, man. I still don't have this crap figured out. Really, they're actually interrupting the whole show by even saying their pronouns. And in reality, They're just asking a question. Why do they have to say their pronouns if they're just asking a question? Like, the audience is not trying to address them. We don't really give a shit what their pronouns are. Really. And you're just complicating the whole thing by making me have to think about what those things all mean. Does it, like, really? Does it mean that does it have something to do with who you have sex with? Is that what it's all about? It's like they. Does it mean like you have sex with another guy or a group of guys or a group of guys and girls? Is that what it means? I don't know. I haven't gotten this whole thing figured out, but we're working on it. We're sadly working on it.
Points of order, Robert Alley, he, they. My understanding as an equity-seeking delegate is that these cards are to help the chair hear equity-seeking persons and that we don't only hear from white male delegates. Now,
the cards are all about, again, putting white people at the end of the bus. And I think that a white guy, if you're a white man, you're like the furthest at the end of the bus. Then in front of you is a white woman, because a white woman is not quite as bad as a white guy, right? The white guy is the worst of the worst. You're like, hey, you've screwed up society forever. And because of that, you don't deserve to be anywhere but at the back of the bus. End of the row, end of the line. No microphone for that guy. He's like way too white for the NDP. If for that alone, you should tell the NDP to go fuck themselves. Right? If they're pulling this kind of shit, pulling the race card. Remember? In the old days, you'd hear someone of color or whatever say something and go, oh, you're racist. And it's like, oh, well, you're pulling that race card. This is like pulling the race card to a whole new level. Satan's spawn. Yeah. And I'm not the only one that's seeing this. I've seen podcasters right across the United States, not even in Canada, pull up these clips and comment on them, and everybody is the same way. Like I say, in fact, other people are way more vitriol on what they say than myself. I'm being quite kind here today on A, trying to figure this stuff out, B, trying not to land myself in jail with Canadian hate speech by not hating on anybody. I'm not hating on these people. I'm just trying to figure them out. Nothing wrong with that. And you can't call me a racist for that. We're just here watching what's going on in the world and being like jaw dropped. It's like I'm sitting here going, huh? What? What did I just hear? What are these people talking about? Does this really go on in society? Do people really act like this? Do they really think that the rest of the world really cares about what their pronouns are? I don't give a shit. You can be whatever you want to be, but don't be trying to push it onto the rest of the 95% of us here. Some people are going to go, oh, I feel so sorry for you. I'm not part of your program, but like I'll go along with it. And there's other of us that go like, I don't even want to hear anything about it because it makes no sense. It's all made up. It's in your mind. Some people even say it's a mental problem, derangement. It's like, we all know that there's not enough room in the mental hospitals. and it's programming. These guys are coming up with their own stuff, and then they're all hanging out together, and they're all reprogramming their own brains. And it's all come to a head with the new Democratic Party that is absolutely not a new party. So why they call it a new Democratic Party, I don't know. It's more akin to communism than anything. They should change the name of it to the new Communist Party. That would be more applicable in this day and age. In fact, we'll move on to that when we actually hear from Avi Lewis, the guy, the millionaire that won the whole thing and is now the leader of the new Communist Party. And when you hear what he has to say, you will probably agree with me and say, yeah, those are all communist ideas. What does he want to do? Turn Canada into a communist country? He sure does. Just stick around until we hear the clip from Avi Lewis and hear what a communist he is. He makes the dude in New York look right wing when you hear his ideas for what he wants to happen in Canada. Unbelievable.
This is my first convention, but so I could be wrong, but the reason for my concern is that yesterday during the housing resolution, after a white man spoke, someone at this mic waved their equity card only to give their speaking spot to a white man.
Oh my God. A white man didn't speak at the NDP convention, did he? And you let another white man speak? Oh my God. What's this world coming to? What a bunch of racists. It's a complete racist program. You know, and everybody says, well, you can't call if you say something, about a white person, you can't call that person a racist because he said it about a white person. And apparently being a white guy, it's not a race, and you can't be racist to say derogatory things about white people. But NDP party, you guys are a bunch of racists. And I'm not bullshitting. You're a bunch of racists. Throw me in jail for saying it, okay? Throw me in jail. I dare you. Shame on you, NDP party, for coming up with all this bullshit, for these race cards and for race baiting everybody at your convention. And now you're trying to push it on the rest of society. We're not buying it. It's not going to work. It's not working for me, and it's not working for a lot of Canadians. And in fact, you guys tried to pull this woke bullshit. The Democrats did it in the States, and you went woke and you went DEI and all the rest of that shit all over the place until Trump got in. What did Trump do? He threw it all out. He threw the tampons out of the bathrooms. He threw the 5% of you out of the military. He's throwing this crap out of the schools. But up here in Canada, the NDP party is embracing it. It's like, that's what the NDP party is all about. They've got that 5% of the vote from these people, but they don't have my vote, and they never, ever will get my vote. Ever. Ever. In fact, listen to the way these people are ticking me off to the point that I'm even talking about this crap. This is all bullshit. And you guys are, if you're sick enough, sick-brained or sick-minded enough to fall in line with this stuff, shame on you. Shame on you for supporting this bullshit. And if you're a white person supporting this kind of stuff, extra shame on you. You know, and that's the most despicable thing, is to see some white person that's brainwashed into being so badly programmed into being in bed with this crap, into thinking that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's not. This is what's destroying our country. And these people want to run our country, tell you what to do, and even make things worse for you, and program your children into thinking that this stuff is okay. It's not okay. It's divisive. It's dividing the country. It's dividing the people. It's dividing the people by color. It's dividing the people by handicap, dividing people by equity. What, are you going to need a special colored bus pass to get on the bus? Oh, and you white people, get to the back of the bus. I thought we were all over that, like about 50 years ago. I thought we came up with a program that we don't want to see black people in the back of the bus. We want everyone to be equal. We want everyone to be treated equal. We don't want to have a certain segment of the population to be at the back of the line, back of the bus. But apparently the NDP party figured that it's great. It's okay if we just oppress the white people of the world because your forefathers did some shit that we didn't like. They were the colonizers. Well, guess what? Some colonizer from 200 years ago is not me, right? I was born here in Canada, right? I don't deserve any special privilege whatsoever. I don't want any special privilege. All I want to be is just a Canadian, not a special genderized Canadian or an equity colored Canadian, just a Canadian, just a normal person. And why can't we all be the same? Why can't we be homogenous instead of trying to divide? We need to divide everyone. We need to divide groups of people, and we need to put you in this pigeonhole and this and that pigeonhole. And then this pigeonhole gets to be first in line, and you have to be in the back of the line. Stupidness.
Now, that white man being a leadership delegate, notwithstanding, I had lined up for a long time.
A what? What the hell did he say there? A leadership delegate? I didn't quite hear that. What's he calling the white guy?
I had lined up for a long time to discuss the housing resolution, like many others, including my fellow delegate, Akua. I just want us as a body to understand the spirit of these cards, because we are a party governed by processes and not by any sort of shock doctrine.
No, you're a party that is governed by those gender equity cards, and apparently it is extremely important for the NDP party to put labels on people to understand what your gender is and give you a certain number of points for your gender, your color of skin, your how you are up that equity scale, whether or not you're somebody that's working or whether you're getting food from the food bank. You'll get a different rating by the NDP party, because it's all about treating everyone unequal. You're not equal. Sorry. None of you are equal. We're gonna label every one of you and put every one of you in a different box. From over in England, Herman the Tosser says white hater. Absolutely. They hate white people. The NDP party, you must hate white people by what you're doing, because you're showing me that you absolutely have a disdain for white people and that you want to give them zero and not even give them a gender equity card. No card for you, Tommy Temper. Back of the line, back of the bus. In fact, you have to walk. You don't even get to ride on the bus because you're just a white guy. A colonizer. You may as well just call me a piece of shit or something like that, NDP party, because that's how your brain process works. Unbelievable.
Like I said before, it's my first convention, but I can tell tensions are high with the leadership contest. And I just want us to make sure that we remember our values that brought us here. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Yeah. Your values that brought you here are actually very, very low. Okay. They're terrible values for you to start splitting up the population and putting us into different categories when the whole LGBT community is all about equality. It's equality. We want to be treated just like everybody else in society. Let's make rules. Let's make a month for us to celebrate the equality of the community. No, that's not what it's all about. It's these people. They want to divide and conquer and take over. And it's happening too, right in front of our eyes. And it's never ending.
Point. Let's hear the point on microphone 1.
Yes, point of personal privilege. I am Lyle Culpepper. I am non-binary. I am a person of color, which happens to be white color. Egalitarian.
What? Oh. Non-binary person of color. Well, he got an extra point on that gender card. Look at, he's actually got 3 gender cards in front of him there. I guess one of them is for being a person of color. A white color. Oh my God. Just make it up as you go along. As you go along, just make up shit as you go. Okay? And then expect everyone else to believe it. Okay, I can believe that you're non-binary because, in fact, I have no idea what non-binary means other than you're not a man and you're not a woman, I guess. So you're a non-binary. I don't know. That's just a guess. But you're a person of color. I have to think twice about that one, especially when you say you're white. I'm a person of color. I'm white. Well, that means that I'm a person of color and I'm white. So I don't have to get at the back of the bus, do I? Because I identify as a colored person, a white colored person. This is where Canadian politics is moving. The world. How are things in the UK? Are you guys this stupid over there? How about my friends in the USA? Is it that bad there? Or is it only if you're a member of the Democratic Party where things are this bad over there? I know that Tim put tampons in the bathrooms there. Oh, man. This is like the worst shit show ever. This guy is a non-binary, identifies as a colored person. Where's Al Munson? Al Munson, is this guy a colored person? And what's with the scarf? And he's trying to be a hippie there. Okay. I don't want to laugh at anyone. I don't want to treat anyone badly. I don't want to go to jail for saying something terrible, nasty, improper about anybody here, or to misgender anyone. And I'm not trying to misgender anyone. I'm just trying to figure out what all this stuff is. So this guy is a non-binary colored person, white colored person. I wonder what else he is. I'm sorry. Oh, I misgendered him. Oh, I did. I called him. Oh. What do you call a non-binary person? You know, it's like I misgendered. What do you say after that? You can't say him. You can't say her. Robot. Binary person. Number. I misgendered this number. I don't know. I haven't got that one figured out yet. I know. I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid about going to jail. Canadian government is bringing in this rule where if you misgender somebody, they can come back, take you to human rights court, and in fact, they can charge you with hate speech. Them. Carrie's musing says them. This is craziness. Unbelievable craziness. And really, a long time ago, I said to myself, if I'm going to start a YouTube channel, I'm not going to talk about religion, politics, or sex. Because those are things that get you into trouble. Talking about those, get you into arguments, get you into fights. And then now, in this day and age, get you thrown in jail up here in Canada. Because if you say something and it's interpreted as hate speech, because you said something disparagingly about somebody, they could take offense to it and could phone up the RCMP, and then there would be a knock on your door. You know, FBI, open up. I don't have that on my soundboard here out at the lake. But it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, let's listen to the rest of this bit. We haven't even gotten to the part where we listen to Avi Lewis, the guy that won the leadership of this whole thing. We're just getting through this. And you know what? These guys are fighting more. Guys. I'm saying guys. These people kind, are talking and are fighting more about their gender equity cards than they are about housing or the rest of the stuff that they should be talking about.
White color, egalitarian, two-spirit furry. I'm also sex positive. I'm also sex negative. I'm also a Muslim adjacent Hamas supporter, and I am disabled.
Oh, hang on a second.
Egalitarian,
wait. Whoa. Hang on, let me hear all these things. I don't even think I can remember all of them, of all the things this guy or this person kind identifies as. But is this like the tip of the iceberg of, does it get any more unbelievable than this?
Privilege. I am Lyle Culpepper. I am non-binary. I am a person of color that happens to be white color. Egalitarian, two-spirit furry. I'm also sex positive. I'm also sex negative. I'm also a Muslim adjacent Hamas supporter, and I am disabled. I have a condition called SIPME, which is stress-induced premature ejaculation, and I am Korean, but not by blood. And I have all my cards, like my race, equity, and gender card here, so pretty much top of the list. And there are been some comrades who have skipped in front of me. I've recently got...
What? Oh, man. I actually never listened to that clip before. I have a condition premature ejaculation. And he's and they are a furry. Oh man, a furry with premature ejaculation. And I have sex, but I don't have sex. Hang on, that one beats the cake. Come on, that guy's got to be bullshitting us. Like, come on, where did he come from? That that has to be fake. That can't be real, but it is.
Egalitarian, two-spirit furry. I'm also sex positive. I'm also sex negative. I'm also a Muslim adjacent Hamas supporter, and I am disabled. I have a condition called SIPME, which is stress-induced premature ejaculation, and I am Korean, but not by blood. And I have all my cards, like my race, equity, and gender card here. So pretty much top of the list. And there are been some comrades who have skipped in front of me. I've recently gotten my oppression graded at a 9.7. So in terms of being able to speak, I would like to ask for extended time to speak. And perhaps I could come up on stage with you, Madam Emma Stone. Or sorry, Emma Stone.
Not right now.
Okay.
Point. Let's hear the point on microphone 1.
Yes, point of personal privilege. I am Lyle Culpepper. I am non-binary. I am a person of color that happens to be white color. Egalitarian, two-spirit furry. I'm also sex positive. I'm also sex negative. I'm also a Muslim adjacent Hamas supporter, and I am disabled. I have a condition called SIPME, which is stress-induced premature ejaculation, and I am Korean, but not by blood. And I have all my cards.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Yeah. I'm reading the chat. But I'm not gonna. He's Korean by blood. Oh, that's funnier than hell. Holy shit. Can't make this shit up. Okay, that one might have been fake. I don't believe that one. that one sounded pretty fake. But you know, like it's so bad where the people are having no problem at all come up with some funny stuff on that one. But that's about as bad as it gets. Yeah, that might have been AI, that last one there. I don't know though. I never watched the entire show, so not too sure if it was AI or what. Okay, many curiosities persist over the widely ridiculed, I should say, equity card system at the 2026 NDP Leadership Convention, despite numerous clips going viral of attendees expressing disappointment over the cards and their functions. A last-minute resolution was passed to expand the system.
I am not opposed to this resolution. I wanted to take the opportunity to adjust the equity card systems, which I understand is a rule that's already adopted. But given that we're dealing with human rights and Canadian identity, it seemed like appropriate time. So I apologize for interrupting this resolution, but I have suggested wording for the equity card system, if we can hear that.
Okay.
The standing rules of the convention be amended to expand the equity card system beyond gender to include racialized, Indigenous, Two-Spirit, LGBTQIA delegates and persons living with disabilities, and to include a directive for their use based on the impact of resolutions. I have wording if it's seconded, I think, or should I read the whole thing?
Okay, so this for the duration of this meeting.
For the duration of the meeting.
Yeah, so what we can do, if there's a seconder and there's 2/3 support, then we can do that.
Sounds
okay,
good.
There is a seconder.
Okay, I'll be brief. So this would be Rule X. The numbering would be determined by the order of the day or the order of the rules of order. Number 1, to ensure diversity of voices that reflects the whole movement. Equity cards by delegates who identify, or equity cards may be used by delegates who identify as women, racialized, Indigenous, Two-Spirit, LGBTQIA, or as persons living with disabilities. Number 2, in assigning the floor, the chair shall utilize the equity card system to facilitate speakers that accounts for both a pro-con and the diverse identities of delegates seeking recognition. And number 3, in utilizing an equity card to seek the floor, delegates are asked to consider the particular resolution being discussed and encouraged to speak to how the proposal specifically impacts them, their identities, and their communities. I am not a...
What about white guys? What about us white guys? Come on. It didn't include us at all. That wasn't very inclusive. He wants to expand the system. Apparently the race card, gender equity cards or whatever they weren't inclusive enough. They had a whole bunch of other people that were being excluded from the whole thing. So it didn't work out well, and they had to expand upon it and have a whole bunch more people be allowed to speak. And at the convention, this is the NDP convention in Canada, they finally elected a guy. They elected a white old guy, Jewish guy, millionaire, whose grandfather and father were also in the NDP party. So like he's and actually he went to a school in Ontario that was like a school that was cost an awful lot of money to go to. So he's got a lot of wealth in his family, and which is kind of interesting because the people that support the NDP party are like people that are on welfare and people that are handicapped and or misgendered and stuff like that. The sort of the people that you don't really consider to be the taxpayers of the country. Maybe some of them do work, but they're mostly the people that like socialism, freebies, free handouts, free stuff. Like that's the kind of people that like hanging out at the NDP party, and they like socialism. Well, anyways, they elected this guy who's like probably the worst guy in the world to represent everything that they stand for. So like this doesn't make any sense at all. You're Korean, but not by blood. Well, he identifies as Korean. It's like that one, at the beginning, he's he identifies as a colored guy, but he's white. Anyways, this guy's name is Avi Lewis, and like, if you don't think that communism is coming to Canada, and I'll stop this clip as it goes by, and we'll talk about everything that he's saying here, just so that we understand where we're at in Canada and what Avi Lewis wants for everybody in Canada. Put it this way. If this guy ever becomes prime minister in Canada, anybody that's working, if you have a job, just quit your job right now, because you don't have to work anymore, because you'll be getting everything free. Right? The government will take over everything. They'll take over the supermarkets. They'll take over the internet. They'll take over the cell phone companies. They'll take over all the businesses in Canada. Okay, and it will all be run by the government. And this guy will be in charge. Okay. Now, what do you call that? When the government owns everything, what do you call that? Well, you call it the NDP party in Canada. Now, you and I might call that communism, but they don't like to hear that word, and they don't like to. They like to think that it's not really communism, but it's a new communism. But they don't call it communism. It's the New Democratic Party, and they're anti-oil. Oh man, you got to be driving. No, forget about the electric car. You don't even have an electric car because you don't get a car, but you can ride the electric bus free. Okay, because they'll be putting electric buses everywhere, and you'll be able to ride them for free. And they'll have government food stores. So if you want food, you go to the government food store. It's like it'll be utopia for everybody up here in Canada. Let's listen to this guy. You can't make this shit up. It goes into that category. Avi Lewis. It's like Trudeau. Remember when old man Trudeau was running Canada and then they elected young Trudeau, Justin Trudeau? Yeah, well, this is exactly the same thing. Because like I said, his grandfather was in politics for the NDP party. His father was in politics, and his father just died like yesterday, too. Unfortunately. So he's going to become even richer than he already is when he gets all that wealth from his father. But he's the multimillionaire who's the leader of the NDP party. Let's listen to Avi Lewis.
The Prime Minister is very popular at the moment. He's a smart guy, and most Canadians still want to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's fair. But I think when you connect the dots, his moves do not add up to the vision that Canadians truly want and deserve in this perilous moment.
Well, I would agree with him there because I don't like Mark Carney either. But Mark Carney is far better than this guy, as you'll hear. Just listen to his cockamamie ideas.
$500 billion in a decade for weapons to make Canada a major arms exporter in a war-torn world. Slashing our cherished public services. Sweeping aside Indigenous rights. Full steam ahead, no regulations on AI. And pipe.
What? No, full steam ahead. No regulations on AI. Oh, we're done for.
Lines. In the last federal election, Canadians voted to say no to Trump and Trumpism. What they're getting instead.
Yeah, that's because Carney convinced all Canadians that Trump is the bad guy. He's tariffing Canada, taking all our jobs away, and you need to like stop buying American products in the stores, stop buying American booze, stop buying anything American, and just don't even travel to the United States. That's what Carney did, right? So he's not wrong there. Carney did that. Carney made Trump the boogeyman, and it's like, I'm the only one that can save you from Trump. So vote for me. Vote for Mark Carney. I'm the only one in Canada that can save you. And the Liberals are the only parties that can save you from Trump. So vote for me. And that's how Carney got in. By demonizing the United States and Donald Trump and making it seem like Mark Carney is your only savior from all of this stuff that's going on.
To say no to Trump and Trumpism. What they're getting instead is our government following the U.S. into a future of wars, fossil fuels, austerity, and job-killing generative AI.
Oh, my. Fossil fuels. You notice that? All those bad things. Fossil fuels. And remember, if you don't like oil, you're going to call it fossil fuels, right? It's like a derogatory term. It's like make it worse than it is. And in fact, is oil made from dead dinosaurs? I don't think so. From fossils? Is oil made from fossils? I don't think so. But it sounds derogatory. I guess so.
Our NDP has a different offer for this country.
Oh.
Our plan is to Trump-proof the economy by investing massively in Canadian economic independence, using the unmatched power of public ownership to ensure...
Oh, what? Public ownership. Doesn't that sound like communism that didn't work? Didn't they have that in Russia, where the country of Russia owned everything, and you work for the government. Public owns everything, The government owns everything, and you work for the government. And guess what happens? You hardly work at all. There's no productivity. Everyone's a slack ass because there's no incentive to work any harder than the guy next to you because you're not going to make any more money. There's zero incentive to work hard. Everyone is a slacker in the entire country. That's what Cuba is like. The government owns everything in Cuba. Everyone's a slacker in Cuba. Nobody works hard for anything. Why would you? There's no incentive. If you don't incentivize labor in order to work harder and you make more money, there's no incentive to work hard. Everybody ends up being a slacker. That's what this guy wants to have happen in Canada. He wants us to be a country full of slackers. There's enough slackers out there that don't work. We even know some of them that go like, oh, well, the government pays me. I don't have to work. I can just leech off the government. Sure, I won't get rich, but you know, I'll live from day to day. I'll have more than enough money to make sure that I go to bingo and that I, you know, have a roof over my head and some food on my plate, you know, and a few other little things. Because actually, Canadian government gives out actually quite a bit when you don't work. And socialism is great because, you know, I can get a free bus pass and ride the bus. Might even be able to buy a car. You never know. But why work when you don't have to? Why would anybody work when you don't have to? Just sit on your ass and do nothing. And this guy wants everyone in Canada to sit on their ass and do nothing and get free shit from the government because it's all going to be owned by the government. And it's all going to be, it's either low cost or no cost. Listen to the rest of this. What do you mean? The government, public ownership. What do you mean?
It's using the unmatched power of public ownership to ensure the fundamentals of a good life.
No, but public ownership is not the fundamental of a good life. That's called socialism. And we know that it didn't work in where? Let's think of a few places. Russia, Cuba, Venezuela, you know, and other places around the world. How about the Eastern Bloc of Europe that was all communist, East Germany, Bulgaria, and all those other countries over there where they're all living in poverty. Over in the West, we had tractors over here and lots of food. Over there, they're pulling plows and wagons with horses. And they still are in those communist countries. They haven't moved ahead at all. They're living like life was 100 years ago. Who wants that? Who wants to turn the clock back and make life worse for everyone? You know what? Everyone will have food on their plate, but everyone will be living in the same degree of poverty. That's what it does. And that's what the NDP party wants. And people are cheering this on. It's like, free stuff. Yeah, yeah. Government will own the food stores. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great, great. No. It's not great. It's terrible. Let's hear what this whole thing is about. The government owning everything. Listen to him. He's absolutely berserk. This is like somebody coming from the Bolshevik revolution right into Canada here in 2026, and these people are eating it up. Unbelievable.
To ensure the fundamentals of a good life. A network of public providers for food, phones, and internet.
Food, phones, and internet, all owned by the government. Sounds like communism. Sounds like Cuba. Sounds like Russia back in the good old days. Some people go, well, life was better back in the good old days under communism. You know, at least we all had food on the plate. Yeah, a little bit of food, but you didn't have technology. You didn't have the gadgets. You had nothing. Just food on your plate. And you're barely able to survive. And you had government housing. You know what government housing is like in Russia, in a communist country? It's like a little hole-in-the-wall apartment, smaller than hell. Then no possibility of you ever owning your own home, your own place. Meanwhile, Canada is a huge, huge country with lots of land, lots of real estate, lots of places to live, lots of housing, the ability for you to own your own home. But no, the NDP wants the government to own everything. And in fact, they want to build housing, but the housing that they want to build would be called, let's listen. Let's listen. What kind of housing does he have in store for you?
A public housing developer and public construction companies to build millions of non-market homes.
Oh, the government is going to get into building homes, and they're going to be non-market homes. What exactly does that mean? That means the government is going to own those homes. In fact, they're not homes, that they're going to be little modular apartments, and the government will own them. They're non-market because they're not going to be for sale. But they might be cheap. They might rent them to you cheap, so they'll be cheap rent. You'll never own a damn thing. You won't own anything, but you're going to be happy if you vote NDP, because the government is going to take over and own everything.
A 21st century electrical grid, an EV bus revolution, and a heat pump in every home, built with Canadian steel, creating tens of thousands of unionized jobs.
Oh, union jobs? What do you mean, union jobs? You're all going to be working for the government. And electric buses. No mention of electric cars even, because, you'll be riding an electric bus. This is the NDP party in Canada. It's insanity. Total insanity, the whole idea of us going to communism. I don't buy it. I don't think it's good. And for that reason, NDP party, you're never, ever, ever going to get my vote. Never. Never. And if I ever have a chance to bash the NDP party, I will absolutely bash it. And for those of you that are like, I voted NDP, and like Dean Wall. I think Dean Wall is an NDP, or probably Sandy Foster. You're like probably, and Cadamus Rex. You guys are all probably NDP voters. And this is all what you want. You want communism. Communism for the masses. Yeah, well, guess what? It's not for me. I'm not cut out to be a communist. And I learned a long, long, long time ago that communism was actually terrible. Terrible for the country. Terrible for you. Terrible for me. And it's freaking bizarre. Marty up north, like him, I've talked to him on one of his podcasts there, phoned into him and actually spoke to him. He says, this video keeps popping up on my timeline. I can't believe how bizarre it is. The left has become. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jagmeet Singh. Yeah, where are you? I have a yellow card. Is that what it takes for you to finally listen to me? Yeah, well, what kind of a yellow card is that? Does that mean you identify as a colored person, a white colored person? I don't know. It's ridiculous. And this is it. And when Avi Lewis was elected, and he, we're not going to play the sound here, but Let's just play it here. When Avi Lewis was elected, and they all got on the stage with him to cheer him on, guess what flag they were flying? What flag were they flying? Like, unbelievable. Like, come on. You guys can do better than this. I don't see a Canadian flag anywhere to be seen. In fact, at this entire event, with all of the videos, I never once saw a Canadian flag. In fact, people that were there said they didn't see any Canadian flags at all. But we do see a Palestine flag. Remember, Avi Lewis is Jewish. He won the whole event. He's now the leader of the NDP party. And they're flying the Palestinian flag right there on the stage at the NDP convention, which is like, is this what Canada has become? Is this what the NDP party is all about? I don't believe it. Well, I do believe it, because up until everything else that I've seen with this podcast here, everything that I've shown you, and how left that this NDP party is, it absolutely does not surprise me to see them supporting the Palestinians and the Palestine flag right at the convention. Like, really, I would not, if I was running and if I had anything to do with any kind of a convention, that's the last thing I would do, would be to allow the flag of some other country to be flown, you know, in the background of the leader where he just won the convention, and you're flying some other flag. I don't care what flag it is, whether it's Palestinian or Russian or Japanese or whatever. Those flags shouldn't be flown at a Canadian convention. This is Canada. This is where we're at in Canada. And this is what the NDP party is all about. So all I can say is shame on you for allowing that, Avi Lewis. Shame on you. This is not the Canada that I grew up in. At all. At all. I don't believe it. But on the other hand, you know, it's absolutely a clown show out there. Let's listen to this clip here. Here's like a montage of what we've seen. Let's listen to our good friend Berta Proud Dad, and he pretty much sums it up with this clip here. Clown show.
Watching coverage of the NDP convention really shows you what these NDPers are all about.
Or pronouns he, him. Point of information.
What information do you seek, delegate?
Can I ask an election about, or can I ask a question about executive elections to the chair?
As I understand it, what more election results we have are going to be announced at the end of the day.
I have a point of information for the elections committee.
The elections committee has gone to do balloting and they're not available to answer your questions.
Thank you, Chair.
Sorry. Microphone 4, are you on a point?
Point of order, Robert Alley, he, they. My understanding as an equity-seeking delegate is that these cards are to help the chair hear equity-seeking persons, and that we don't only hear from white male delegates. Now, this is my first convention, but so I could be wrong, but the reason for my concern is that yesterday during the housing resolution, after a white man spoke, someone at this mic waved their equity card only to give their speaking spot to a white man.
Yep, that actually happened, ladies and gentlemen. They have literal race cards. They have race cards. at the NDP convention. Yep, they are a bunch of professional victims, aren't they?
Yep, pretty much. Professional victims.
Watching coverage of
Wow,
the NDP
that's actually
really shows
quite nice saying that, because I've definitely said a lot more than that. Let's hear what have you ever heard of this comedian by the name of Ben Banks? This is a pretty short clip here, but in 6 seconds, he pretty much sums up what the NDP Canadian convention is all about. Ben Banks, let's hear him.
Some of the ugliest, dumbest people on earth. Some of the ugliest, dumbest people on earth.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say it. So those of you that are pretty much gonna take me to court, or the Human Rights Committee, or whatever the hell it is, screw you too, because I never said it. Ben Banks did. Take him to the tribunal, not me. And of course, we have just a regular old Canadian who says, I'd get 10 years in jail for this in Canada for saying this. And yeah, pretty much me too. 10 years in Canada. I know, more like, for me, 20 years in jail for all the things that I said here in this broadcast. But let's hear what she has to say.
I'd probably get 10 years in jail for making this video in Canada, because I'm about to make fun of a bunch of degenerate dumbasses called the NDP party, which is the third largest party in Canada. Yeah, the NDP, the New Democratic Party, they had a convention, and it was like a convention of the Olympics of the most degenerate losers I've ever seen. I'm not even kidding. Let me just show you.
It's a point of, go ahead. It's like a point of privilege. The microphones seem really low today. It's hard to hear everyone at the mic. Between the background noise and the volume in here with the microphones, it's really hard to hear. And the closed captioning also is slower to make it hard to keep up with what's going on.
Thank you, delegate. I have a hearing impairment and I'm struggling to hear the delegates, and I know that you are too. Let's have some order. We'll hear from the delegate on microphone 1, please.
I'm pretty sure Dumbo can hear colors from space. What? Also, that whatever that thing is, it's a they them. The they them Hitler. I love that little Hitler cut. You know what? It's like the Nazi party, but with just rainbow colors. But let's keep going.
The she, her, elle en français. It's gonna be really hard to follow Rob Ashton. Amazing speaker. We are a working class party.
What the hell is this? Directly out of Star Wars or something?
I think most of us in this room are behind that, and while we can debate on the specific words and who is and isn't included, I think our Constitution needs to recognize that. And I also recognize I'm sorry, I'm speaking way too fast. Let me slow down for the closed captioning. I'm so sorry, I get excited.
It's a point of privilege. The closed captions for this convention are running between 6 and 10 seconds behind. So it's just a request for the chairpersons to be aware. And when you move to a vote, I'm still reading the debate. So if we could just take a little pause, that would be appreciated.
Okay. Did you see because they're not allowed to clap. Because there's too many people, sensitive feelings, ears. Did you see how he said chairpersons? Because we're not allowed to say, chairman or chairwoman, because that gets you in jail. These are the degenerates that are now holding on to the Canadian, politicians. And this is what it's like living there. But it keeps getting better. Wait till they start calling each other comrades.
Yes, bonjour, hi. My name is Parker Tian. I'm representing Vancouver Quadra. Just to reply my friend Poco comrades, prior point of privilege earlier, as you can see, I do have one of the translating device. However, I like to raise this to the chair's concern that the sign out process for this device is not necessarily the best.
We are so cooked.
Psyop.
So cooked. Buddy went on to say that there's not enough pens and it was really hard to sign out a translator device, and fuck me.
Oh, yeah. Can't make this shit up. It was bad. It was absolutely bad. And like to show you how much the NDP party has faltered since the quote good old days of the NDP. This is days gone by. Jack Layton, 2011. This is the NDP party. You know, like look at it was a regular party back then, before it was overtaken by all of the and look at even Canadian flags. They actually flew Canadian flags back in the old days. Look at all of them. It was like a Canadian NDP party, but not anymore. It's turned into the LGBTQ Palestine party now, or something like that, like something strange. This is something strange that's going on here. I don't know. Oh, and get a load of this guy here too. This guy here was running he was one of the delegates, you know, running for the leader of the party. And listen to what he has to say here about rich people. Okay. NDP leadership candidate Rob Ashton starts screaming about cannibalizing rich people at the party's convention. Check this out. This is quite bizarre.
I'm going to close this campaign the way I started. We're done being on the menu, and we're done with the ruling class eating us alive. It's time we take our seats at the table and eat the damn rich. I'm going to and eat the damn rich. And eat the damn rich. I'm going to close
eat the damn rich.
And eat the damn rich. I'm going to close this campaign and eat the damn rich.
That's this guy. This guy is labor, something to do with the unions. Okay, Rob Ashton. You have to look him up, but he's like some kind of a unionist or something. But he's yelling, "Eat the damn rich people!" Like, come on. That was one of the more bizarre things, but not unexpected. No doubt about that. Gets to be crazy.
We went.
Okay, let me find some other ones here. Let's listen to this bit here. And he's just commenting on the whole thing. We'll just listen to this comment on the
The NDP leadership convention was a total clown show, and they have a new leader. And no surprise, it's Avi Lewis. More on him in a little bit. But this far leftist posted a video on X showing a large pro-Palestinian flag being flown on the stage. Not a single Canadian flag in sight, folks. This isn't a parlor trick. They don't care about our country. A large Palestinian flag is being waved on stage during Avi Lewis's first speech as leader. Solidarity forever. Solidarity with everyone else but our damn country, I guess. Communists celebrating a democratic process and leadership win by a champagne socialist by flying a flag from a terrorist state that hasn't held an election in 2 decades. It's perfect. Where are the Canadian flags, you traitorous scumbags? Exactly. Where are they? They don't care about our country. The entire convention was a total clown show. Just look at this clip here. Alex Zoltan posted tons of these bangers on X. They're great.
My name is Mastura Tasnim. My pronouns are she, they. I'm from Ontario. Hello, bonjour. As we conduct this convention to Iran being deployed,
those Zooms killed me.
This is a no question debate. I call this question, Madam and Chairs. Thank you.
Your point's quite well made, Speaker. I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair or Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their.
That's the priority, right? The gender stuff, not the actual policies. These people are clowns, and they're only going to slip more in the polls. The swing voters that went to conservatives from the NDP in working town places are not going to go back to the NDP because of this gender stuff. Again, there's just so much of this stuff. I'm not going to be able to show it all.
Burnaby North Seymour, pronouns he, him. Point of information.
What information do you seek, delegate?
What rations do you want, comrade?
Can I ask an election about, or can I ask a question about executive elections?
It just goes on and on. There's so much of this. That's the NDP. Those are the people who held the balance of power for like the last 10 years. Wow. They also had Santa Claus or somebody calling to eat the rich, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Avi Lewis is a dynastic candidate. His parent, his father, and his grandparent, his grandfather, and I know I have to specify that because it might be his grand them or his parent them, were leaders of the Ontario NDP and the federal NDP. Lewis steps into shoes of his grandfather, David Lewis, who led the party in the 1970s. He's not going to pull those centrist swing voters back that went for the Conservatives. But he was the obvious choice here. Everyone knew he was going to win. Nobody else was going to win. Santa Claus wasn't going to win. Come on.
Yeah. And likewise, McPherson, who's the MP from my area where I live in Old Strathcona. She didn't win because she just plain was not a well-known person across Canada. And remember, also Avi Lewis also does not even hold a seat. He was not voted in any riding anywhere in Canada. So unless he wins a seat in the next election somewhere in Canada, he's not going to be able to even stand up in the House of Commons and say anything against the Liberal government. So, or whoever is going to be running the government at this point in time. Yeah, pretty crazy. Let's see. Actually, yeah, this is Table Salt saying I'm live on the scene at the Canadian NDP convention, and they actually did have one Canadian flag there. I do see one Canadian flag in this clip here. So let's show you this one here. But there's plenty of other flags in there too. Check it out. There's one Canadian flag. Plenty of LGBTQ flags. There's that last flag, as a matter of fact. Now I don't know if this is AI or what. This looks kind of suspect, but that one flag at the end there is the Islamic regime of Iran. That's their flag right there. Globalize the Infada. But this is saying I'm live on scene. This is Table Salt. Is where I'm pulling this from on X. So I don't know if that's a real one or not, but you can bet that it might have been kind of like this down there, you know, like look at all the people with colored hair and stuff like that. There's a little too much colored hair there, I think. But I think this is a kind of a mockery of what was going on. To fund the plow, death to the plow or something. I don't know what that is there. Anyways, that's kind of funny. Lots of funny memes and stuff like that coming out with the whole thing. And even Glenn Beck, American podcaster, had this to say about the whole event. Let's listen to Glenn Beck's take on the whole thing.
I want to take you to Canada, and I want to show you how you remember who made the SS officer uniforms, right? Who made them? Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss.
Those were designed and made by Hugo Boss. You know, go into the store. I just go into the stores and ask them, hey, do you have any of those snappy numbers from World War II? They love that joke. But they made them for the Nazis and designed them to make them look beautiful and not scary. Now we look at them in their horror shows, right? But it came from fashion, the fashion world. Let me give you an advertising campaign from a fashion retailer up in Canada, Le Maison Simmons. Here it is. This is their ad from 2022 advertising campaign. Listen and watch this.
Breasts are sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles. I see the ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life, there is still so much beauty.
End my life?
To be brave enough to see it.
You just have to be brave enough to see the beauty of death. Doctor-assisted death. Okay? That is a fashion ad. That's a fashion ad from Canada. They are trying to make death by doctors beautiful. Gang, is there anyone who will say, okay, all right, we got to spit ourselves out of this system? This is insanity. The world has truly gone insane.
Yeah.
You know what? If I have time, let me just look up. Because while we're at Canada,
it's called
why
Made
not just stop
in Canada. They're pushing
what is
it.
Their NDP convention? What is the NDP
National Democratic Party, which is a code for socialist.
I don't know.
No,
which
it's
one to
new
play here because they're all
Democratic Party
nuts. Let's play. This is their socialist, convention, and it's Monty Python. It really is. It's Monty Python. Cut 5.
I'm sorry, just real quick, point of personal privilege. I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but
Can we
early
stop
on
for just a second? Freeze that frame there. That is a delegate. Looks like a Pacific Islander, a guy in a very nice floral dress. Okay, go ahead.
It's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked. And it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender woman had spoken over me. And I understand her rights are important too. This pertains to her too, but I don't know. I hope that in the future, the federal NDP will also have a broader interpretation of the equity cards for speakers. That's all. Thank you.
I will invite
So he wants to
delegates
make sure that. Go ahead.
in better using the card by forming a straight line behind the microphone. With the prominently displayed equity card, if I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you.
Okay.
This applies so far, according to your rules, for gender identities other than a dude, but it is open to us to change our rules as we like as we move forward.
Right. Yeah. So we can change anything, can't we?
Dudes are not allowed.
Now let's go to cut 6.
Not allowed.
Points of order, Robert Alley, he, they. My understanding as an equity seeking delegate is that these cards are to help the chair hear equity seeking persons and that we don't only hear from white male delegates. Now, this is my first convention.
That would be wrong.
So I could be wrong, but the reason for my concern is that yesterday during the housing resolution, after a white man spoke, someone at this mic waved their equity card only to give their speaking spot to a white man.
Please. I have a white gender equity card.
That white man being a leadership delegate, notwithstanding, I had lined up for a long time to discuss the housing resolution, like many others, including my fellow delegate, Akua. I just want us as a body to understand the spirit of these cards, because we are a party governed by processes and not by any sort of shock doctrine.
Right.
Please.
Right.
I have my card.
Can you imagine how much time do you have if you went to a convention and they spent this much time? That was the only, by the way, that's only been 2 minutes and 2 seconds, the two clips together. How much time would you have before you would get up and go, this is ridiculous, I'm walking out?
Before you would request access to MAID?
Yeah. I mean, it's Wow.
Good
Let me go
point.
flashback. Not a lot has changed. Here they are in 2019.
Quick point of privilege.
This is in America,
Yes.
by the way.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
comrade.
no.
Okay.
Okay. Is
Thank
there
you,
a speaker against name?
Comrade.
pronoun?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay.
We have
What?
a lot of disabled comrades.
That's all they're using.
And a lot of those are invisible disability. First of all, in this room, I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, when we
No, dude. Nobody's clapping for you because you're a white cis guy with no visible minorities or handicaps. That's why nobody's clapping for you. Plus, there's too much background noise, and that other guy's going berserk.
can do something like reducing that, that's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these.
I think they've been shooting up for quite.
Yeah, they've been shooting up. Shoot up. Don't clap. Shoot up with one of these. Oh, man. Glenn Beck says it all. He thinks they've been shooting up.
Because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, when we can do something like reducing that, that's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these.
I think they've been shooting up for quite some time. Myself.
There. See, Canadians? How stupid can you be? NDP party? How foolish can you be? That even you have the Americans are looking at us now and thinking we're all a bunch of idiots. Guess what? That's not me. I've got the white card. I've got the cis white card. This gives me first in line because I'm a white guy. You know, like I deserve it. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. If you like what you're watching, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, I'm going to give myself a thumbs up. And I want to make sure that you're giving us a thumbs up. Don't just sit there and do nothing. Let's see how many thumbs ups we have. I was number 2. 26. 26. I'm number 26 on the thumbs up board. Thanks a lot, everyone. By the way, these oil jacks that you see behind me are right down the road from where I am here. I actually took this video myself, and this is real. This is what it's like here in Alberta. We've got lots of oil. We're not going to run out of oil. Okay. Now, when we could send this oil to you guys in the UK or down in Australia or in other countries where you're watching the program here, we've got tons of oil. We could load it onto ships and we could ship it to you in Australia or in China or India or wherever, Philippines, all over the place where you guys don't have much of a supply of oil and you're paying through the nose because of supply and demand and stuff like that. We've got tons of oil. In fact, there's no reason why our oil should be so expensive. And I was just thinking about this, and this has to do with Alberta and independence. Okay. If Alberta became independent, then us, the people of Alberta, could petition the province to take some of that wealth that we're making from all of this oil, and we could apply it to the price of gas at the gas station. In other words, if we're paying $1.50 a liter, we could subsidize that by $1 so that it only costs you 50 cents a liter, right? So think about that. That's going to be a benefit of living in Alberta, is that I will take it upon myself to petition the government to reduce and not be taxing oil, but actually to be reducing the cost of oil at the pump, gasoline at the pump, by $1 a liter. Okay. You know that you only pay in Kuwait 80 cents a gallon for gasoline in Kuwait. Did you know that? 80 cents a gallon. That's how much they pay in Kuwait, because Kuwait is an oil producer and they have a lot of money and a lot of oil, and they can afford to have their people that live in their country pay a lot less for fuel than in other places. And we can do exactly the same thing here. We don't have to nationalize gas. We don't have to nationalize the gas companies. We can let everything flow the way it is, but we can absolutely have our government that will be very wealthy subsidize the price of oil and gasoline and those kind of products in Alberta. And that is one thing that I personally will be pushing for, because we've got the oil wells, we've got the fuel, and we have the ability to reduce the price. Okay, right now we're paying a little bit more for fuel right now because of the war going on in the Middle East. We know that. We know that for a fact. The ships aren't getting through. And because we pay for fuel based on the price of the barrel of oil, the WTI price, that's where our oil is priced, and you've got the Brent oil price and those are all international pricing schemes. But guess what? If they can lower their price to 80 cents a gallon in the Middle East, then we can certainly do that here in the new country of Alberta. So be sure you vote for Alberta independence if you live in Alberta. And to hell with you guys in Ontario and back east there. We really don't give a shit about what you guys think about what we're going to do in Alberta here, because it's going to happen. And I'm part of it here, where I'm saying, yeah, let's go. Give us a thumbs up on this Alberta independence. We know that the haters call us a bunch of separatists. Oh, you dirty separatists. You're just a bunch of traitors, and you're like scumbags. You don't want to have anything to do with Canada. But you know what? We want a better life. We don't want to be giving half of our paycheck away to Ottawa and to the cronies in Ottawa that have been running this country, the liberals, that all they want to do is tax, carbon tax, net zero tax, heavy emitter tax. We want to sequester carbon, and we want to spend a whole bunch of money on equipment to pull carbon out of the atmosphere and pump it into little holes in the ground, and waste your money on doing stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think so. We want to get away from this climate change bullshit, all this net zero carbon carny bullshit, and all of the taxation, the federal taxes, the GST tax, and all the rest of the things that you're taxed on, where they pull money out of Alberta and send it over to other provinces, out to the eastern seaboard, the Atlantic provinces. They get literally billions from us. Quebec gets billions from Alberta. Ontario gets billions from Alberta. Let's see. Alberta, I think it was, what was the number I heard? It was something like 2010 to now, Alberta has actually put to the rest of Canada $750 billion. That's how bad it is. We're talking about an awful lot of money here. And people out there go, oh, well, you guys will never be able to survive if you separate from Canada. Yeah, we're the ones that are supporting Canada. Without Alberta, Carney will not be able to pay for all those trillions of dollars that he's spending on all of those massive programs all over the place. Every time he steps onto a podium, he spends another couple of $1 billion. Like, it's getting to be where Canada is going to be in such bad debt that we'll never pull ourselves out. We're just going to go completely bankrupt with Carney running Canada. It's a shame. And, guys like me see what's going on because I follow politics. I follow what's going on. I can do a quick, hey, ask Grok. Ask AI. Ask any of your AI. I don't care which AI program that you use. You can find out how much money Carney is spending on his different projects since he was elected. How about this? How much carbon Carney is pumping into the atmosphere with all of those jet trips that he's taking all over the world since he was elected. It's like every second day he's hopping on a jet. Your jet, one that you're paying for that fuel, you're paying for all of the money that it's taking to have him travel all over to all of these different countries. He's accomplishing nothing other than spending money that Brookfield is benefiting from in different countries all over the place, spending your money, my money, to benefit Brookfield. That's all that Carney is doing. We're sick and tired of his bad governance. I'm really surprised that most of the liberals out there and people that voted liberal don't see all the bullshit that he's doing. And we've had enough. So, okay, if Carney's not doing a good job, if the liberals are not doing a good job, and we've just heard what a terrible political party that the new Democratic Party is, how they're just a gong show, right? Monty Python's flying circus is what people are comparing the NDP party to. We know that Avi Lewis just wants to nationalize everything in Canada and basically turn Canada into a communist country. And we've had enough of that bullshit. Really, like it's got to change. We've got to do a little bit better. Okay, yeah, I think that's it for my broadcast here today. Thank you very much. We got about 30 some people watching here. Thank you very much for tuning in here this afternoon. We appreciate your company. That's all I have to say about the NDP party and where we're at here right now. I might do some kind of a stream, and it will be completely different there later tonight. Maybe a music stream where we're going to spin the discs and listen to some good music, just to do a complete copyright music stream or something. Or maybe we'll do a panel or something. Thanks a lot, Phoenix Tide in there. We got Spooky in there, looking good. We got Jethro in there. And let's see, who else? We got Brenda in there. Hey, good to see everyone. Thanks for being a member of the community here. Anybody that bought memberships. We didn't get donations on the stream here at all. Actually, I'm doing terrible here. I haven't gotten any donations the last 3 times that I've gone live here. So I don't have a lot of what do you call it? Capitalist reason for going live here. So maybe we'll do some spin the disc later on there tonight and get some donations for putting on the songs that you want to hear. We'll do maybe that kind of a thing. So, but anyways, I wrote this song, and this song is about Alberta separation. If Alberta separates, maybe this will be the theme song of Canada. Well, I don't know, because it's sort of pre-Alberta becoming its own country. But listen to the words of this song. I wrote it myself, and we're loving it. Okay, let's listen to this.
In the shadow of the Rockies, where the wild winds blow, Albertans rise up, tired of the status quo. Oil sands pumping black gold, beef on the grill so fine, grain fields waving golden, canola blooming in the sunshine.
Thank you very much, Phoenix Tide, for the win.
Sending it east to Quebec while we shoulder the blame. No more pipelines blocked, no more carbon tax chains. We're done with the feds breaking free from their reins. Alberta freedom, ringing loud and true. Sovereignty calling, independence.
Sending that oil to you.
No more woke liberalism, stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cut loose from the strife.
That's right, Phoenix, the legend.
Watching as we claim our own land, freedom for our families with a rifle in hand. Alberta
Let's go. Alberta independence for the win.
From the prairie to the peaks, where the eagles soar high. We're sick of the traitors calling us traitors, that's a lie. Equalization's a thief, stealing our hard-earned pay, while they push their agendas, turning night into day.
The NDP agenda.
Ranchers and farmers, grain silos stand proud. Oil rigs turning profits under Alberta's cloud. No more begging for ports, landlocked but strong we stand. We'll negotiate our future with the world in our hands.
Let's go.
Freedom, ring it loud and true.
Send us oil to you.
Independence coming through.
Low cost oil.
Stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cut loose from the strife. Rocky Mountains watching as we claim our own land. Freedom for our families with a rifle in hand. Alberta freedom.
Lube up.
Let the anthems roll. We're building our nation forevermore. They say it's illegal, but
We're on a roll now.
all right. Like Ukraine from the Soviets, we'll fight through the night. No more sending our wealth to fund their endless schemes. Our pensions rising, fulfilling our dreams. Tired of the liberals, their rules and their games. Albertans awakening, falling out on me. Canola fields yellow, beef herds grazing free, oil sands fueling futures as far as the eye can see. Where
Hit that sub button. It's just watching out there. Sub them up.
The answer, lifting us higher. No more being the wallet for a broken confederation. Freedom's our birthright, our declaration. Alberta freedom, ringing loud and true. Sovereignty calling, independence coming through. No more woke liberalism, stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cut loose from the sky.
Yeah, but if you're usually straight, that means you're not straight.
We claim our own land, freedom for our families.
Drill, baby, drill. You got it right there, Daisy. Okay, sounding good. Okay, the next time I produce a song, it's going to be with my voice, me singing. So if you guys think it's AI, well, of course it'll be AI, but it'll be me. So you can't complain about this song saying it's AI slop or whatever. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a cool song. I wrote the words to that song. And of course, you know, generated by AI, whatever, you know, and some of you guys don't like it. But hey, quit complaining. You know, at least it's not, you know, something that you're hearing on the regular radio station. Something a little bit different. This stream has been sponsored by Phoenix Tide 69. Thanks a lot for that super chat. That one super chat is actually going to make me go live later tonight because I feel a little bit better that I didn't waste my whole day away here, and that you know, we got a little bit of somebody that appreciated what we did. Well, other than, I know that there have been a lot of people that have donated to my stream in the past, and I do appreciate that. And, you know, lots of people sitting in right here in the stream, lots of members of my community that have joined up, and we appreciate that. But we especially, yeah, don't mind the little super chat once in a while. Thanks a lot, Phoenix Tide 69. Do appreciate that. And, yeah. Whoa! It's pretty much over. See you later, everyone. Thanks a lot for enjoying the afternoon with us here today. Oh, actually, let me go to one last picture here to show you what it looks like outside of my window here. Hang on if I can bring this up here. Somewhere I've got that. Oh yeah, here it is. This is what it actually looks like outside my window. So it's a little bit darker, and it's still snowing a little bit out there if you can't really see it in this video, but it's gonna have to go out there, and we'll have to shovel some sidewalks and stuff like that. We're out here at the lake. We're at Sylvan Lake, Alberta is where I'm at, and we're still having fun out here. It is spring break right now, so there's no school for the kids, so we're out here just having fun at the lake house here. Okay, thanks a lot, Phoenix Tide 69. Thanks a lot, everyone else, for watching. Appreciate your company. We'll see you later.